Good morning, brothers and sisters. This morning I wanted to jump in and go into 1 Samuel chapter 21 and read this morning. It's a good story. It's got a couple of little stories in it that I really enjoy. I think you will too. But I'm going to read chapter 21 out of 1 Samuel out of the New King James Version. It says, Now David came to Nob, to Ahimelech the priest. And Ahimelech was afraid when he met David and said to him, Why are you alone and no one is with you? All right, David's running from Saul at this point in time because Saul is out to kill him. Just to give you a little background. So David said to Ahimelech the priest, The king has ordered me on some business and said to me, Do not let anyone know anything about the business on which I send you, or what I have commanded you. And I have directed my young men to such and such a place. Now therefore, whatever you have on hand, give me 5 loaves of bread in my hand, and whatever can be found. And the priest answered David and said, There is no common bread on hand, but there is holy bread. If the young men have at least kept themselves from women. Then David answered the priest and said to him, Truly, women have been kept from us about 3 days since I came out, and the vessels of the young men are holy, and the bread is in effect common, even though it was consecrated in the vessel this day. So the priest gave him holy bread, for there was no bread there but the showbread, which had been taken from before the Lord in order to put hot bread in its place on the day when it was taken away. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before the Lord, and his name was Doeg, an Edomite, the chief of the herdsmen who belonged to Saul. And David said to Ahimelech, Is there not here on hand a spear or a sword? For I have brought neither my sword nor my weapon with me, because the king's business required haste. So the priest said, The sword of Goliath the Philistine, whom you killed in the valley of Elah, there it is, wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. If you will take it, for there is no other except that one here. And David said, There is none like it. Give it to me. This is where the story gets really funny and interesting. And I wanted to let you know, I'm going to go ahead and read the first verse of chapter 22 just to finish off this story at the end of chapter 21. There is none like it. Give it to me. Then David arose and fled that day from before Saul, and went to Achish, the king of Gath. And the servants of Achish said to him, Is this not David, the king of the land? Did they not sing of him to one another in dances, saying, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s? Now David took these words to heart, and was very much afraid of Achish, the king of Gath. So he changed his behavior before them, pretended madness in their hands, scratched on the doors of the gate, and let his saliva fall down on his beard, acting like a madman. Then Achish said to his servants, Look, you see the man is insane. Why have you brought him to me? Have I need of madmen, that you have brought this fellow to play the madman in my presence? Shall this fellow come into my house? The first verse of chapter 22. Now David therefore departed from there and escaped to the cave of Adullam. So when his brothers and all his father's house heard it, they went down there to him. See, these servants of this other king, the king of Gath, they were talking about David. They were thinking, man, Saul has killed his thousands, David has killed his 10,000s. If we could kill David, then we'll make a name for ourselves. And David knew what they were thinking. So he wasn't stupid. He decided he was going to act like an insane person. And what did it do? It got him out of a whole big mess of trouble. He acted like a madman, scratched on walls, slobbered all over himself, and drooled on the floor. Like I said, I think this is a really funny story. But I would keep this story in mind. There may be a day when you have to act like a madman. And you may have to act insane. If he hadn't acted insane that day, he wouldn't have fulfilled God's plans, I can tell you that much. He would have been killed by that king over there, that king Achish. Instead, he acted like a madman and was sent on his way, and he escaped the hands. Escaped them. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, brothers and sisters. Hope you have a blessed, wonderful day. Stay strong in the Lord. Jesus loves you, and I love you very much.